Oh shit! Look, we're all on screen. Hey everybody. Welcome to CAMEEOS on a Monday night. We have a special episode for y'all. I am Oseanacy. This is Samsahn, and for the very first time, hopefully not the last, we have I named you. You're Glenjamin. Glenjamin's in the chat. You are also muted, Glenjamin.
Yes, I am.
There you go. Glenjamin.
How you name him Glenjamin?
Because that's what I called him at Tonic. So for those of you guys watching, Glenjamin was OG Tonic. He worked there. He opened it. He laid the mortar and foundation at a very fine establishment in Washington, D.C. So thank you.
Wrong.
I mean, that's the way I think about it. You got everybody the job who got the job there. So we kind of owe it all to you.
Is it me? I don't know if it was me, but yeah, I'll take the credit for it though.
It was either you or Dan's cousin John, and we're gonna thank you instead. That's the way I like to do it. All right, so welcome to CAMEEOS. No, you didn't do it.
Yes, I think you might have.
I don't. That's not the way it is in my mind. So
I don't know.
Welcome to CAMEEOS. We have a very special episode for y'all tonight. We've been going back and doing the video game adaptations in media. So whether it be movies or TV or miniseries or something in between, we went back and we watched all of the best of the best and the worst of the worst. Samsahn put together a spreadsheet for us to reference.
You put together a spreadsheet. I just kept adding to it.
Samsahn expanded upon a spreadsheet of a lot. I just opened it up. There's a ton in there. But
there are a lot of adaptations.
Over the last week or so, we've been trying to catch up on some of the, standouts, I will say. So just kind of like a general discussion of video games outside of the video game media. I am curious though, so Sam, you were talking about you watch Max Payne?
First of all, yeah, all right.
I watched it too.
Max Payne is like, to me, Max Payne is really the gold standard for like video game adaptations because it actually follows the story of the video game. Right, so all of those characters that are in the movie are in the game. It's the same like overall background. Like his wife dies. There's a drug called Valkyrie. Like all of that stuff is true. They were setting up for a part 2, which would have followed the Max Payne 2 game. Like they literally follow it to a T.
So why didn't they make a part 2?
Because it didn't do well.
Enlighten me.
That's beside the point.
Was Mark Wahlberg too busy? Did you even say that it's Mark Wahlberg that stars in it?
Mark Wahlberg.
That should be. In it. I didn't know that. I would have watched it if I had known.
Ludacris in it.
Was he filming in between Fast and Furious movies? Or
this is like
no, this is before.
Yeah, this is before.
Wow.
It's like legitimately, it really follows the story to a T. So, like, in that respect, it's a great video game movie. Okay. So, as far as being like the bar to be
true to the source material.
Yes, it is. It is very true to the source material.
Okay.
It's not a good movie, but it's very true to the source material.
Definitely not.
It's not good.
Wait, so Glenn, had you seen it before? Oh,
I watched it a long time ago, and I thought it was a pretty good. Younger, like maybe like 10 years younger, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But watching it yesterday,
it doesn't hold up.
It does not hold up. Because one, like, I understand, like it follows the whole story or whatever of the game, but it starts off with him, like, just like the interaction when the first girl dies. Is it Natasha?
Yeah, who is Mila's twin sister.
Mila's twin sister.
You have Mila Kunis acting as twins, and this movie is still terrible?
They're not twins. In the game, they're twins. Yeah.
I forgot who the actress is.
So it's not Mila Kunis doing like,
No.
okay.
No.
But it's the same in the game. They're twins. In the movie, they're not twins.
Yeah.
But it's still her sister dies, and that's why she's with Max Payne. Like,
Right.
100% follows the game.
Yeah. Because it's like set out. Because the movie starts after the wife dies, and then it starts off with him going to go like or finding out like the loose ends of how his wife dies.
Okay.
And then you come in, and then he's like, oh well, he's still hung up on his wife. And then this girl's like trying to bang him out, and then he's like not going for it, and then
hate to see it.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but yeah, it's just like a really weird like setup to it, but I understand why, but it just didn't go back and forth the right way for me.
Yeah, it sounds like the pacing might have been off on it, and you got Ludacris pre-Fantastic Four, so I guess his acting must have been
Fast and Furious.
What did I say? Fantastic Four?
Fantastic Four, yeah.
Same thing. Forced it.
Another thing.
I'm thinking of San Diego Comic-Con. We'll get there in a bit. But so Ludacris has got to be, like, this had to be an early movie for him. Mark Wahlberg is not known for his acting chops, so I can't imagine that's great. Mila Kunis is hot, but it doesn't even sound like we got like a Freaky Friday thing with like a twin version of her, which what a missed opportunity.
It's still the overall point is like they get to the story.
Do they do my question after that stupid tirade was going to be, do they do the slow motion shooting thing at all in the movie? Because that was
like twice.
That was what the whole game was based around. It was basically
towards the end they do it like twice.
Anybody who's not played Max Payne, the whole like gimmick of the game is there's an actual story, whereas in Grand Theft Auto there's a story, but it doesn't fucking matter. Like you're just driving around a city stealing cars and shooting shit. In Max Payne there was a story that kind of mattered. And you could do this like bullet slow-mo thing where you like jump up in the air and you like shoot in super slow motion. It was really cool. Rockstar made it, if I didn't say that already. So this was like, oh damn, really dope. I kind of am okay that I missed it, but maybe I'll go back if they. I mean, if they make another one, maybe they are. They're making another Max Payne with Mark Wahlberg.
I was doing my research. I don't know if it's Max or if it's Mark Wahlberg, but they are doing a reboot.
Do we know who the director was on this one? Like, is it anybody that's done anything?
Yeah, he did like a Good Day to Die Hard and
oh, everybody knows that as the best Die Hard movie.
He did something else too that's pretty popular. I forgot.
All right.
Before we continue though with the rest of these video games, just a note. There's like Street Fighter cartoon movies and extra cartoons. There's like Sonic cartoons. There's Super Mario cartoons. We're not talking about any of those. There's way too many. Too much content.
Yeah, man. Through. This list you expanded on today is like wild. I mean, I put in the first like 15, maybe 20, and then you went in and added another 12, and then you added in all of their like source material and shit.
Yes.
So good on you.
Oh, also, hold on. Before we continue again, the Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter is not the best. It is terrible. It is. We don't even need to talk about it. It's not good. Why is Jean-Claude Van Damme playing like an American general?
Why is he not?
Kylie Minogue is like Cammy.
I want to see you do a split.
It's what is it? Is Balrog like a tourist? I forgot. It was terrible.
Yeah, the movie was.
It's terrible. The splits don't matter.
They did a callback to the splits in Love and Thunder. No spoilers, but they definitely played right off of that. That was an iconic moment. That's one of the things that you can say about a lot of these. All right, so I guess before we go any further, let's just do like I'll do a quick run through. We didn't cover all these. We obviously didn't watch all of these in the last week, but just some.
I was going to say some of these I've seen. I just didn't put anything in there.
No, I'm just going to go through. I'm going to like run through the list of like notable video game adaptations, and then we'll talk about the ones that we saw. We're only talking about Max Payne at the top because we were joking about that at the beginning, and then apparently you guys actually went back and watched it, which I think is hilarious. Fantastic. But all right, so in no particular order, some like notable mentions. Halo, the new Paramount Plus TV series. Resident Evil, which I watched. I don't know if you guys watched that.
Watched it too.
Ooh, I got a lot to say on that.
Couple things. Yeah,
I have a lot to say on that. Detective Pikachu, that is based directly off of a game, Detective Pikachu, the video game for the Game Boy 3DS or something like that.
I think it's the Wii. No, not the Wii. Sorry, I thought it was the Switch. Pretty sure it came out for the Switch.
Okay, well, maybe that's more recent than I was thinking. That's
very recent.
That's not streaming anywhere to our knowledge. Then we've got Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, yeah.
Then Mortal Kombat Conquest and Legacy, all on HBO. So if you guys want to watch some Mortal Kombat shit,
Conquest is trash. Legacy is amazing.
I have not seen any of those. I definitely saw one of the first Mortal Kombat movies. Like, if those were the ones that came back in the 90s, then I've seen them.
The first two are the 90s ones, and the third one's the one that came out last year. Conquest is a show from the 90s, and then Legacy is like they did on YouTube. And then they
I remember that.
They're like
I remember that.
Put it on HBO. It is really good. It's only like 10 minutes long, and I was like, if this was in the movie,
was it like was it like fan made stuff, or was it just like a thing on YouTube?
No, it was like a true. We thought it was fan made, but it was like a real director. Like real actors were in it. Like Michael Jai White is in it. There's a bunch of people that are like to do things are in it.
Okay.
It's really good.
Maybe. I don't know. I had a hard time getting into the fighting game stuff just because I'm terrible at them. But that's neither here nor there. Max Payne, which we just talked about. You noted that as fire in all caps. Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Which I did. I did just watch the first one because I admittedly had not seen any of them. More comments to come on that. The Uncharted movie is still in theaters, I think, and also streaming. Super Mario Bros. The classic basura, according to Sam. That's totally fair. Castlevania, holy fuck, fantastic. Might be my favorite. Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider. I mean, apparently they're making money.
There's 3
with what's her name with the Yiddies?
There's 3 with Angelina Jolie, right?
No, there's 2 with Angelina Jolie.
And then
it's only 2 from my research. There was only 2.
We may have missed.
Dreaming of a third.
And then there's the 2018 one. Like there's the Cradle. The second one with Angelina is like Cradle or something. Mm-hmm. And then I don't remember seeing one after that.
Hey, to Greek. To Greek, we did not watch Hitman.
I watched that a long time ago.
Maybe Glenjamin has some comments on it, but let me finish this list here. So,
3 total, but only 2 with Angelina.
Gotcha. Yeah, because the one after that new game, right? The reimagined.
Yeah. When they reimagined the reimagined, where they made her boobs like 3 times smaller, so it was just like a little bit more realistic that she could be a fucking female version
she was younger. She was like at least 10 years younger, right?
Your boobs don't keep growing.
No, but
it's still before she had the reduction.
I meant like, what if she had
breast cancer?
What if she got a surgery afterwards?
I'm not talking about Angie. No, we're not talking about the character.
I'm talking about the character. What if she got?
I don't think they cut Angelina Jolie out because her boobs got smaller.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what if
I think that's what Sam was saying.
Maybe she got bigger boobs after the fact. After she.
All right.
Also, I like that.
We're getting stuck on
Busty Cops 1 and 2. Is very hilarious to me.
Busty Cops 1 and 2. Busty Archaeologist 1 and 2.
1 and 2. The Robin story.
All right. Can't forget about Arcane, the neckbeard movie of the century. Our short series. Man, I'm getting all tongue twisted. Thank you guys for keeping me honest. The Warcraft movie, which is what I was getting to.
Horrible.
Ultimate Basura. That should be underlined and capitalized. There's an upcoming Tekken show.
Yeah.
We do have Tekken 1 on Tubi for Patrick Non-Fatrick. I know that. Tekken 2, also Basura.
It's god awful.
Street Fighter, dude. Why? Okay, so going through this list, we're almost at the end. Okay, and Legend of Chun-Li. Why are there so many shows based off of fighting games? Maybe that's something we should have figured out.
It's an easy way to get a guaranteed fan base.
Double Dragon. Why? Because y'all sweaty and will sit down and watch anything.
I mean, it's a built-in fan base, right? Because those like Street Fighter games and the Mortal Kombat games just super popular. I don't know why they made a Double Dragon game or a movie. But that's like
Panamanian Thunder. We got Prince of Persia right up here. We got Double Dragon. We got Doom. Werewolves Within. Blood Rain with the vampire yitties. Dead or Alive with the volleyball yitties. And I just added The Witcher on there because The Witcher
I forgot.
was actually
season 2 is not as good, but season 1's great.
And the first season was based way more around the game than the second season. So for what that's worth,
it was based off a book. Though,
it was a book that was turned into a game, but then the creator of the show on Netflix said that his like idea was based around the game more than the books. So that's why I included it.
I like it.
Yes, fighter games. Fighter games will have the best action scenes. That's true. That's a good point.
Rampage is a good one.
I totally forgot about Rampage.
It's also on HBO Max. So if you want to know where these movies are, I really went and found out where I can watch all of these.
Hit up Sam.
Hit me up. Ask in the chat.
Samsahn will tell you where you can find all this. Far Cry had a movie? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a Far Cry movie, and I forgot to put it down. I think I couldn't watch it. Anything I couldn't find a stream for, I didn't put it down.
All right, so suffice it to say, there are going to be a ton more that we did not just cover. Those were some notable mentions, 32 to be exact. But there are a lot more. If there's any that you think we missed, put them in the chat, and we can spit about it. But what else did you guys watch this week?
Well, we could start with Sonic because I literally just finished Sonic 2.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Well, I watched the first one.
Same.
Last night.
I think they're cute. Like I think.
Can I just say
seriously?
Wait, kawaii?
Yeah, because it's like I feel like it's like straight from the game, right? Everything they pull is game specific. I appreciate that.
Is his mom an owl in the game?
No, that's like a character they made up. Besides the owl mom.
So within the first 5 minutes, break the canon, but then after that.
Yeah. After that, everything else is like straight from the game. I like the first one, but the second one is like the story. I don't like the story.
I disagree with you on like being straight from the game.
What's not from the game? If you're like a
Dr. Robotnik being a like crazy Jim Carrey-esque dancer, bro.
Oh, that's his character. That's different. That's separate. I'm talking storyline.
You gotta separate the actor from the character.
Come on, bro. I want to hear Glenjamin's point. What you said? You had to say one thing. You had to say one thing.
Just one thing. He talks too much. He talks way too much.
But that's Sam's point. Is that it's a cute movie for kids.
Yeah, it's still for kids at the end of the day.
Yeah,
kids and Sonic fans.
All right, here's my thing. I feel like somebody watched a lot of Fortnite and then they were like, how do we make a movie that fits this demographic? And they did that. The man did the floss. Yes, Sonic did the floss like 3 times in that movie.
I think it was more like 5 or 6. I think it was 5 or 6. I counted.
Listen, I thought is our resident like Sonic expert. He said Robotnik is normally wild.
I bet
he's the expert on this.
I thought he was like, he's eccentric. I thought he was eccentric, but Dr. Robotnik had like a whole dance breakdown scene. All right, here's my thing. I'm not critiquing Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik because I was like this is fine. Like Dr. Robotnik in the games and the show is just kind of boring. Like he flies in and says some crazy shit, and he's just like an archetype of a villain. That wouldn't really make a good thing. If you're gonna get Jim Carrey, that's not how you're gonna do it. But my thing is, when I went into the movie, I didn't know that they were really trying to hammer in that like age 11 to 15 demographic, and Sonic did not land for me in that reason. I think I went in with like a preconceived notion that it was going to be like an average to okay like action movie, and I got like something that I think I really would have enjoyed as a 15-year-old or 13-year-old. Like TikTok, that shit was made for TikTok.
Yeah, of course. They're not trying to sell you a movie.
I didn't know that. I went in there, but Sonic came out before you and I were even born. You know what I mean?
It's like, I don't think these companies go in there with that in mind, right? Like they'll make something, even with like comic book movies and TV shows. They'll make something that appeals to like this broad stroke of people, but not like us, people our age. So they made that Sonic thing for kids, and then like hardcore fans that like see this and like, man, this is exactly what would come out of the video games. This is a story from Sonic 2, blah blah blah. You know, all those things. That's what I took from it. Same with the second one.
It was. I don't think it was terrible. It definitely wasn't for me. I don't know. Glenn, what do you think?
I could draw parallels to like the what is it, the Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, or what is it, Miss
fair.
Marvel show?
Yeah.
You know, it's like it was geared more toward like, you know, the younger crowd. Absolutely. I just don't think it really resonated with, I guess, our age group. You know,
old fucks.
Yeah, we want a little bit more like nostalgia, right? We want to feel like we were kids again, but we don't want to be treated like kids. We don't want those jokes, you know, because there are jokes that you have inside the movie where like all like the grown-up jokes are just like Jim Carrey making like innuendos.
Yeah.
Okay, look. As somebody, and maybe this is just my bias coming in. I grew up. My favorite movie as a kid was Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. So when I saw that Jim Carrey was going to be in here, I should have seen this movie a long time ago because I fucking love Jim Carrey, and I don't have any issue with their. Yeah, I don't have any issue with the way that like they brought him in. That wasn't my critique. It was just kind of like, this movie clearly was hit. Like they hit, like if you had to put PG-13 over the title of a movie, I would put this right there. Like last 10 years, this is a PG-13 movie. Sold. They made a few jokes, you know, like, oh, risque, but this wasn't hitting anybody on our side. There were no jokes that just the adults would get, I don't think. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't feel like, you know, they made this movie for us, I guess it's a long way to say that.
I will say for nostalgia though, the ones that the one part that really hit for me was the music towards the end where they played that like the original like soundtrack. That was like a really good part for me. Attention to detail. Mm-hmm.
The cinematography and the special effects were better. Like they were better than they had any right to be. I will say one thing. When they were doing the trailers and shit for this show and the initial backlash for Sonic looking like some hybrid pygmy fucking human thing, and they went back and they delayed the movie to like make it not that. They could have just ignored, you know, the internet and just released it anyway, and it probably still would have made a little bit of money, but they went back and did that. The reveal at the end, no spoilers, but they set it up very well for the next movie.
It's like, not a spoiler. The next movie already came out.
Well, I know, but like I don't want to say who they revealed.
He's in the trailer, man.
Okay, well,
Knuckles is in the trailer for it.
Yeah, dude.
I was just talking about Tails.
Tails in the trailer also.
But weren't like Knuckles people like the Cheetahs, weren't they chasing the owl and him like in the first movie?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, because they were like red furred and everything.
Right. Knuckles is from like an evil. Fucking
like evil
tribe
they protect the emerald.
Right. Yeah, the Chaos Emerald.
The movie was totally serviceable. I just, like Glenn, I think I found Sonic to be just a little like, please shut the fuck up. Like, it's like an annoying younger brother.
Like the end.
Yeah, it was just like
you're just talking like when the whole scene where they were in like the elevator scene, that whole scene could have been cut out. Like I get the gag where like she just won't shut up.
Quick loophole, since you and I both just watched this yesterday. He can clearly run like faster than God, right? How come he couldn't run up the side of the building and they had to take the elevator?
The whole point, right?
This is the thing.
I know I'm nitpicking, but I'm like, that would have like cut out that whole thing, and then Robotnik wouldn't have had time to come. And
I agree.
I was like,
or even they wouldn't even have to fall down the whole side of the building. Like
Yeah.
that whole thing wouldn't have happened.
as soon as he ran down the building, I was like, okay, so clearly he can run up and down this fucking building. Like, what are we doing?
They do that in the second one too, right? Because he's running from it, or he's like surfing away from an avalanche at one point. He could have ran, right? But then there's another scene where he runs across water. So clearly he could have run away. Like it's a kids movie. I think it's plot. Like the characters and how they bring the game stuff in. It's like spot on. All that stuff is spot on.
They did, and they did it better, I think, than it looked like they were going to do initially. It looked like initially they were just trying to make like some blue thing that went fast, and then the internet was like, "Hold the fuck on,
calm that down. We
stop and try to make this at least partially true." They had a whole thing about how he got his shoes, and that was kind of touching. Like the movie it wasn't a total miss. Like it just I don't think it was for me.
It's super cute. I totally agree that it was a super cute movie. Super cute movie.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed the way they portrayed the interpersonal relationships between the wife and the sister.
Yo, why did that sister hate him? James Marsden.
Oh my god!
Like
I thought I was like this
why?
is like my life.
She's like, divorce him is the first line that she has in that movie, and I'm like, bro, this is James Marsden. You should hope that your fucking sister has a child with this beautiful man. Like, yeah, he was Cyclops. Don't you know?
It's not a good thing.
She was like, divorce him for no reason. And then I was like, well, he's going to fuck up and then she's going to have a reason. But like,
oh, the guy's a genuinely nice guy.
I love James Marsden. I know she should be so lucky. Who is this wife anyway?
He should be so lucky to be with this beautiful black queen.
She was hot, but what else has she been in? She's not James Marsden.
She's in.
Wow.
What is she in?
Was she Cyclops?
No, she wasn't Cyclops.
Okay. Was she an X-Men?
No.
All right. Well, then I'm
now drawing a blank. All right, whatever.
She was attractive. He was attractive. The sister was over here just fucking in like Denialville, being like, divorce him. And it's like, Jesus Christ, chill, man.
I don't like the humans in the Sonic movie. I wish they weren't there.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Lord.
We watched more than just that. Sam, what else were you hip on this week?
Oh, listen, I watch all those Mortal Kombats.
That's too many. Yeah. That's too many Mortal Kombats.
The first one's classic, complete classic.
That's the best one. That's the best one.
Yes, even with that terrible CG, right? Classic. And the second one,
I was gonna say terrible CG is when Johnny Cash or whatever his name is dies. On that thing. He just dies on that statue. That's the worst.
It's so stupid. They jump in like a ball and then go into the middle of the earth, and then they like ride heat waves to other parts of the planet.
Around.
How else are you gonna ride into the earth?
You're right. What are you doing? What is this? This is stupid. It's stupid. Jax is the only good part, and then they don't do him justice. I wish he could have got like a real chance to be in something.
Yeah.
Second one's trash. Third one is like okay. They just make up a character. I don't like that. There's too many make up one.
Yeah. I did like the whole first scene though, where you see him like throw the whatever, like it's like that gardening tool that you throw.
Yeah.
The kunai. Is it the kunai?
Nah, it's like he tied.
Yeah, he puts the string on and then he throws it and then he
becomes Scorpion. That's what what's the
get over here.
Whatever his clan is, that's how his clan fights. All that was good.
That actually was pretty good.
Yeah, 3 is okay, and then Conquest is a terrible show. It's got the print. Remember when Brandy was like Cinderella? Remember that the Prince Charming from that is Kung Lao. I think it's not good. But then Legacy, that's the one you should watch. It's like a bunch of 10-minute clips on HBO Max now, but they're all good. And
it was on YouTube originally.
I did watch those. Yeah. I watched those when I was younger. Yeah,
really good, and it builds a story of why they are like why each character is fighting in the tournament. So it all makes sense. Like, and if they had done that in a regular Mortal Kombat movie, or made a show and did that, beautiful. Like 10 out of 10. I think Mortal Kombat Legacy is the best thing Mortal Kombat wise. Besides those cartoon movies, which you can just watch. Everything's on HBO Max. But yeah, I watched those. Okay, now I gotta look at the list. I watched a lot of stuff. Okay, I focused.
All right, well, he's looking that up. Glenn, I know you and I both watched Resident Evil.
Yeah, the one with.
Tell me about
All
that.
right, Resident Evil is brand new on Netflix. It was just like number 2 of like stuff to watch. Yeah, on Netflix when I watched it like 3 or 4 days ago. It started last week. It was at the top of the charts. Okay. I kind of want to hear what you have to say first, Glenn, and then I will give my take on it.
All right. So, one, I have to say, out of all the things that really irked me were the conversations between the main character, Jade, and everybody else.
She was kind of a bitch.
For lack of a better word, she was just so aggressive towards everybody. And I get it. She was a teenager, but oh my God.
headcanon was like, this is an angsty 14-year-old girl. She listens to a lot of My Chemical Romance and Muse and Billie Eilish and yeah.
I mean, I guess we should have known when it started with a Billie Eilish song, you know?
Yeah. It literally the series opens on a Billie Eilish song.
Mm-hmm. A very like
angst is like built in.
Mm-hmm. But you know, like you get the whole good cop, bad cop with the sisters, right? And I like how it turns it on its head at the end. But I just don't like the in-between conversations because it's just like, yeah, like I get it. Like it's good drama, it's good story progression, it's great, fantastic. But in a Resident Evil show, it doesn't really make any sense other than just to like eat up time on a show, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's totally fair. I liked it because I wasn't expecting it. And I think like, so you go into a show like this, a Netflix original, which like that in quotation marks has a lot built in. You know what I mean? Like it's a Netflix original. It's like, okay, what the fuck does that mean? Because it could mean a lot of things, but especially when you throw video game adaptation in there too. Like that's an extra like level that it has to sort of surmount. I went in with like the lowest of low expectations. There's been a lot of shitty Resident Evil stuff. There's been a lot of shitty Netflix original stuff. When I saw the sister thing, I wasn't immediately turned off because I didn't think that it was done terribly. And now I know that people might disagree with me on that. I know I've talked to some people outside of this that were like, every time I saw those young kids interacting, I was fucking cringing my asshole inside out. But okay. let me just preface by saying I think it started well. I think some of the interactions I could get in there, and I was like, okay, this is how young little asshole teenagers would react and act with each other. They're like texting each other in the back of the car. There's Billie Eilish playing in the background. They're like, oh, life sucks. Everything sucks. I'm fucking goth and angsty and I hate everything. And I was like, okay, this might not be my vibe, but like, I get it. I feel like I can believe this. As the show goes on, they just start to do stupider and stupider shit where, you know what I mean? Like the story sort of builds up to this point where it's like, I could believe all this. And then I think, you know, with it, like you suspend your disbelief up to a certain point. And then around like the 3rd episode, it just starts to like, why the fuck are these people doing these things? Like, why are these guys acting this way? This is not what they led them up to like be this whole time. And I think that was my biggest pet peeve is I could have suspended my like, all right, this is hokey original to Netflix stuff. But then when they started just like the characters just started not acting like themselves, they started doing incredibly stupid stuff. They started putting in like parts of the show that were completely unnecessary. When they had to like, remember when there was like 2 episodes where the girls had to like go around and like dodge the cameras and stuff? I was like, all right, we get it. This is dumb. This is filler. The show definitely did not benefit from the length. It was 9 episodes, hour-long episodes, and it didn't have that much of a story to tell. A lot of it didn't land for me, unfortunately. It started solid. I would say it surprised me at the beginning. And then I think around episode 3, the rose colored like glasses sort of wore off. And I was just like, I saw through the sheen and I was like, oh, this is just a polished piece of shit. Like, I was like,
Well, I just think I think after the first episode, I think the show should have ended. That woman should have died after that caterpillar threw her on the goddamn car. Oh my!
no spoilers.
God.
It happens right at the beginning.
It starts right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's like within like 30 minutes of the show, she just gets picked up by this giant caterpillar and just slammed right on top of a car. And you're watching it and you're thinking, yeah, she's fucking dead. We're cutting to somebody else after that.
That would have been that's such a good take though. But instead, the rest of the show is like a fucking 9 episode. So it's split between the young, like it happens in 2022 and then like 2036, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, it starts at 2036 with her being old,
fighting giant caterpillars and zombies.
Yeah, and then she gets like she's trying to like figure out like if the mutation of the T virus has like done anything or like has made any mutations to make people.
She wants to figure out if the zombies are like evolving.
Right. And so then she's like she finds like a rabbit and she goes and like throws it out and makes sure that like the zombies can go and like find it. I guess she like cuts it or something and then like the blood comes out.
Yeah.
Or she puts like a pheromone on it and and then the rabbit runs away and then the zombies can't catch it because it's too fast, obviously. And then she cuts her arm getting back into her little cubby and then the zombies come after her.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, wow, that's a little generic, but
I thought it was fine.
Why'd she cut her arm?
She just like stands up. She's literally just standing up and like cuts her arm on the side of.
Oh, it was an accident.
Yeah, it was
by accident. Which I get it because you're trying to make like tension.
It was all fine at that point. I was like more interested in like, oh, this is like a scientist in the post-apocalyptic world trying to figure out if the zombies are getting smarter. That's like an area of zombie apocalypse I feel like we've never actually explored. Of like, are the zombies evolving? That's cool. Let's study that. It was an interesting thing to me. And there was a lot of like, I think that's the main thing for me, like at least in my eyes, the first couple episodes, I could get over some of that bullshit because I thought the show was doing enough interesting stuff. The giant caterpillar was kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And it was doing really cool stuff like that too. And where it really pissed me off though was the whole fact that every single time that the main character did anything to progress her, like I guess her story, anybody and everybody would die in her path.
Yeah.
There was no in between. It was either everybody died or there would be like the last person to help her, and then that person would die for her to keep progressing the story.
Yep.
Which I thought was just.
That's because that's cool. The way it's got to be. Because it was one big long, like her whole arc was a 9 episode like chase scene. She was constantly being chased by like one person.
The Baxter guy, which I thought was a really good. He was something depiction of like an umbrella person. I think that made me feel like I was in a game, right? Like
he was a video game character. He was totally a video game character.
If you play like Resident Evil 5, I get a really big like vibe from that guy from Resident Evil 5, where you play as like Chris Redfield and you play with Shiva. That's a really good game in my opinion. And that's like a true like Resident Evil 5 or Resident Evil game.
I think that's also part of the reason that I initially liked it so much was it felt like a video game. I was like, oh damn, this is kind of dope. They've changed up the things a little bit here, but I knew that the creator of the show had said that this it's canon. Like this takes place canonically in the Resident Evil world. This isn't some separate side story that like ignores what happens in the games. They said that they played all the games up through 7 and this fits in that timeline of stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like I was willing to give the show a lot of like leniencies because of the considerations that it was making towards the games and other stuff. Cause like, those Mila Jovovich movies, they were just like, fuck it. Zombies, Umbrella, Resident Evil. Bet. They didn't give a fuck about the games or anything like that. They would throw in like the random Easter egg or something like that. They would introduce a character that was like loosely based off of somebody from somewhere and just change his whole shit. No, I think it's cool when like shows like this try to at least pay some kind of homage to their source material. You know, that's the one thing that I'll say when I came out of this that I appreciated about it.
Okay.
So would you recommend this then?
No.
Would you?
No. No, you're going to be so disappointed. You're going to be so disappointed by the end of the 3rd episode.
Yeah, I wasn't going to watch it. I can already tell.
Yeah.
I got a sixth sense about these things.
I know there are some viewers in chat that did not like it from the onset, and you were right. It doesn't get better. I think I went into it thinking like, oh damn, this is kind of surprisingly not terrible. And then that, like I said, that just kind of gets like washed away. And then it's like, okay, everybody's acting like a fucking idiot and none of this matters.
The last 2 episodes are pretty wild. And then you're just sitting there like, what is going on? Is no one gonna like nuke the giant crocodile or like like what's gonna happen? Like you're just
spoiler alert, there's a giant crocodile. Nobody knows. I don't know why.
But I mean that's like true to the games, right? There is there's a couple giant crocodile fights that you have in the games.
Sure.
Pretty cool.
So they threw a giant crocodile at you.
Yeah, but they were true to the games though, because like that is what happens in the games. The T-virus really accelerates the growth in like animals.
Right. That's why the caterpillar at the beginning is so big.
Giant caterpillar, you've got a giant spider. First of all, that giant spider scared the shit out of me. I hate spiders.
There was a whole spider scene.
Fuck that spider.
Is it like a Frodo and Samwise fighting?
It's exactly like that,
exactly
but
that.
bigger.
And grosser, because it's got like a giant tumor on its head.
And because the show does like one thing really well, it's got really good special effects.
Yeah.
That shit looks terrible. And when they're fighting the giant crocodile, that shit looks like a giant fucking crocodile.
I will say the worst part of the show, the worst set design in my opinion, is the suits, the uniforms for the umbrella like soldiers. They just look like they have foam padding on them.
Yeah, they have these weird little like random fucking things attached to their arms. It's like, what is that protecting?
And it just looks like foam. Like, like if foam was just padded onto your arms, you just like
it's to protect against giant crocodile bites, you know. All right, Sam. What are your notable mentions from the week? We've talked about Resident Evil far too long.
What's notable, or just what did I watch?
I mean, what do you think? What do you think we should hear about?
I'll tell you about Tekken. I'll tell you about Prince of Persia, because those are very terrible. Tekken. First of all, there's 2 Tekken movies, which we found out when we were like talking about this last week. Both are on Tubi. Both are bad. The second one's not watchable at all. It has nothing to do with anything in the game. There's only 2 characters from the game in the movie, and that's Chloe.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's Chloe and Kazuya. It's a sequel, but it's not the same Kazuya. The story doesn't even add up. I just turned it off. It's trash. And then Tekken, the first Tekken, is not good. They like completely ignore the lore. Anytime something completely ignores the lore from the game, like this is trash. So it's like the world, there's like a huge world war, and now the world is split up into different companies. So the Mishima company is like one of those, and they hold the Tekken tournament for some reason. And like Jin's in there. His mom was raped by Kazuya.
Oh yeah, you said that.
Like, why did he rape her? It doesn't.
Because they have to like put in like a dramatic, like a drama factor.
It
like
was
you gotta.
That sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah, it was like actually they already killed his mom. The Mishima Corporation came in and killed his mom for some reason. You don't know why. They're just in there. They killed his mom. So they killed June. He has a love interest, and it's Christy, but she's not Brazilian. She always has like the low rise, like butt crack thing showing. Like literally, it's like a
Whale.
Yeah, it's like a
yeah.
Like,
Whale.
Classic.
Doesn't do that for her at all.
Classic.
Right? I was like, this is bad. And then Prince of Persia is just a bunch of white people acting like Persians.
Was that Jake Gyllenhaal?
This is Jake Gyllenhaal, Ben Kingsley. The story is terrible. That
was like one of those movies that fit right in there where they were like, why are they making all these fucking white people be Middle Eastern heroes? Yes. Wasn't that also the same time that they did
Prince of Persia?
That's what we're talking about.
We're talking Persia.
Yeah, but there was another one. Egypt, it was like it was a Christopher Nolan movie.
I forgot what it was. Good.
It was a Christopher Nolan movie where they made it was called Gods or something like that.
No, I thought it was like the Gift of the Nile or something.
Oh
no,
I did not see that one.
I thought it was like an Egypt. It was an Egypt one. I thought it was the Nile one. Is it not the Nile one, or is it a different one?
I wonder when this fell into that time period, because there was a whole period of time where the internet was like, stop. Just you can make these people
a minority.
Yeah, just do anybody. There's so many actors of different ethnicities. They don't have to be white. It was the same thing. People complain about The Last Samurai because like Tom Cruise being fucking Tom Cruise is the last samurai. Okay, got it.
Matt Damon was in the Great Wall, but he's only in it because like Chinese people love Matt Damon.
Yeah,
I mean, who doesn't?
Right, that was another one, but that was a Chinese-made movie.
Yeah, it was a Chinese-made movie. So
that was made by like NetEase or whoever made fucking
the Prince of Persia. Like the stories, for some reason, he's like a street rat. He's essentially Aladdin, and then the king sees him and is like,
"That's amazing.
Hey, you look like you have a heart of gold. Come be a prince." And now he's a prince. And then he like, this is stupid. It's dumb. I don't even want to say the rest. You can watch it if you want. I'll put where you can find it. That was absolutely terrible. I also watched. Was that it? Oh, Legend of Chun-Li. I don't remember it being as terrible as it was. So if y'all don't remember Legend of Chun-Li, rest in peace to Michael Clark Duncan, but he plays Balrog. He's like, what's the guy's name that plays M. Bison? M. Bison like kills his own kid. He kills his wife in a cave to put the good part of his soul into his daughter, his unborn daughter. But like he like pulls his he like gives his dead wife a C-section to bring his daughter into the world. This is weird. Gen is like played by Liu Kang's. The guy who played Liu Kang is Gen, which is cool, but like, it's all bad.
Is it not pronounced Jin? It's Gin. Jin. It's
Gen.
Oh, Gen.
Gen.
Okay.
Yeah, from Street Fighter. Gen from Street Fighter.
I thought we were still talking about.
There's like
Tekken.
The guy who trained Ryu and Ken is like Gyukusai. I forgot his name. And then there's Gen who like trains the Chinese fighters. So he trains Chun-Li. He's like best friends with Chun-Li's dad who gets kidnapped because it's stupid. And I see why that girl couldn't get a job after that movie, because that movie is terrible. There's like a weird dance scene where they're just doing this the whole time. They're in the club just like this.
Yeah. Oh.
And then they walk to the bathroom and start fighting. I don't know. They keep doing it and looking at each other. And then they walk away.
It's like a mating dance. That's what birds do. It's a mating dance.
It was terrible. It was the worst dance I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like I'm like got acid reflux and I'm trying to like spit something up.
That's what it looks like. It's so bad. I don't remember it being that bad. It's like comically bad.
Okay, so that was Street Fighter. What do you recommend?
I don't recommend any of those.
Yeah,
so the only thing that
I did see that.
I recommend Mortal Kombat Legacy because it's really, really good. Do not watch Legend of Chun-Li. Do not watch Tekken. Either Tekken.
Didn't Legend of Chun-Li come out around the same time as the Dragon Ball Super movie too? I feel like those were right.
No, not Super. Probably time. Dragon Ball Evolution.
Or I'm sorry, Dragon Ball Evolution. I totally mean the live action shit.
Yeah,
I feel like those came out around the same time where they were like, "Oh, we're gonna adapt all these things into movies and do terribly."
Bro. Oh, Chris Klein is in it, and I don't know what he's trash. It's just weird. It's so bad. Sorry.
I did look up the movie that I was talking about with Christian Bale and Ben Kingsley and Aaron Paul, which was called Exodus: Gods and Kings, and it was a Ridley Scott movie, but basically it was like all these white people are like the Egyptian god. It was supposed to be an awesome movie. It was Ridley Scott. with Christian Bale, and I was like right after the Dark Knight stuff had come out, so like everybody was super fucking hyped for Christian Bale, and
really Scott said he couldn't sell a movie without like a white star.
Yeah. Well, this movie fucking tanked. That's for sure.
So also, Smooth Carlito, yes. We'll only talk about live action stuff. Because, and I'll say this, like I said it earlier, with like the Street Fighter animated things are really good. The Mortal Kombat animated things are really good.
I mean, we made some notable mentions to like. All right, so let's do this. Let's take a pause. We're like an hour deep.
Oh, we are. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Time flies when you're talking about bullshit. Sam, what is your favorite video game to something medium? Whether it be like the best interpretation. So we've talked about TV and movies, which is what I assume would be your answer, but like it can be anything that they adapt from a movie into a book, a movie, a graphic novel, fucking TV series. What do you think has done the best? What stands out in your mind when you say like video game 2X?
I'm not even trolling. Max Payne.
God damn it, you're fucking trolling.
I'm not trolling.
I'm gonna rip this headset
really
out of
true.
this shit.
I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here.
I'll give you like 5 that are like really true.
Okay.
Video game.
Give me 3. I want your top 3. Top 3.
Castlevania, even though it's like it's loosely based, but it's just really good. Max Payne, fantastic.
Waste of a
I can
spot.
kind of agree. I can kind of agree.
And then honestly, Mortal Kombat Legacy is really, really good. I forgot how good it was until I watched it again.
And
I
just
got like sidetracked.
Just to clarify, your rating is not based off of like how accurate it is to the source material. It's just on your enjoyment, correct? Like how much you enjoyed watching that shit. Because I think we should put that parameter in there. Like it doesn't have to be true to its source. It's just like for you enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, because Castlevania is not really true to the source. It like pulls stuff from the source, but it's like a whole nother thing, right? Or if you talk about Arcane is not true to the source at all because that story changes a bunch of times. So
all right, so Glenn, what are your top 3 like movie, video game, TV, comic book, whatever from video game references?
I will have to say top 3.
Yeah. They don't have to be in any order.
Mortal Kombat, the first one.
That was
because it does follow the whole medium, right? Because it's a fighting game. So each person has to fight a stage, and in the game, you have these towers that you have to fight, right? So you kind of get that whole sense where you have to keep progressing, and you keep fighting like a gauntlet. So I thought that was pretty cool. The whole ending was a little weird. It didn't obviously portray that like the whole game, because or especially in the second one where he turned into a tiger, lion,
a dragon and a hydra.
Yeah, a dragon and a hydra, and then the other dude turned into like some chimera or something. But other than that, that's the first one for sure. Recently, I will have to say, Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, that was so awesome. It was a great movie.
Because it definitely doesn't do justice of like having that depiction of Pokemon and then them being your friends.
It was a world with Pokemon.
Or necessarily them being your partner, because they're you technically do have them for life if you're gonna have a Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Until you die or they die, kind of thing, right? Almost like a pet. But other than the third one for sure, this is a hard one.
Go ahead and say it. You want to throw it in there.
It's not Max Payne.
It's not gonna be Max Payne.
It's not.
It can't be Max Payne.
It's not.
I'm gonna cut this podcast off. I'm just gonna turn it off.
This is so hard because there's so many, and I definitely have to say my favorite one is Mortal Kombat 2.
Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 made his top 3.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Because other than the terrible CGI,
wow,
the fact that they were it would literally follow the same. It didn't follow the.
I
another game,
I
but
get it
felt
from the
whole thing.
nostalgia bait point. I get it from the nostalgia bait.
Because it was they did the whole fighting thing.
Yeah.
But obviously the parts between were really terrible.
Terrible. That's a terrible story.
Absolutely terrible. But all the fighting scenes and everything, in my opinion, looking back nostalgia wise, yeah, 1 and 2. Maybe the newest live action one, not the TV shows or the animated ones.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that one might have to take over Annihilation, because that's what the second one's called. So if anybody's thinking I'm lying, that's what it's called. It's Mortal Kombat 2 Annihilation. That's the second one. But the newest one is definitely up there too, because the whole depiction of Scorpion, the whole story of Scorpion being told is his wife gets killed, one of his other babies gets killed, but then his newest born baby gets saved, and that's like, the continuation of his legacy.
Mm-hmm. It was his entire clan also. It wasn't just
Oh no, it was
his whole family.
They fucking killed him. They murdered the whole clan. Yeah. And I thought it was just a really good movie too, because it goes from he gets his whole clan killed, and then he gets his justification and revenge and redemption, basically, I guess. And that's a really good opening to ending, in my opinion, because you get to see the whole story happen. It might take a long time, maybe like 500. I don't know how many years it was, but it was like 500 plus years that whole story took place.
It's very formative for your childhood, it sounds like.
Yeah.
When these movies come out?
Who doesn't want to say, get over here?
3 came out last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard about that. The HBO Max original.
Yeah, the Lin Kuei.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think for me, I don't know that I can put these in any particular order. And Sam, I might need to reference your list.
Yeah, go. Feel free. You want to say Arcane. You want to say Arcane first. It's
gonna be in there. It's in the top 3 for sure. It was
Arcane is good.
It was just so well done. See, but then there's other ones in here that just now that Glenjamin has talked about his formative impressions of these movies, I'm like,
I've had those games since I was playing on the Game Gear,
right?
Mortal Kombat,
right?
The whole fight scene with Scorpion and everybody and Sub-Zero, all those fight scenes are super cool.
But have you seen the animated ones?
No, I've seen, I think, 1 or 2 on YouTube, but I don't think I've watched all of them.
Watch them. They're on HBO Max. Definitely watch those.
Oh, I definitely will.
They follow the whole Quan Chi story where he sets up Scorpion. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you guys ever play any of the other games, like Mortal Kombat 7 through 10? Those are pretty good too.
What was the one? Daily Alliance was my favorite.
That was a good one. I don't know if that was a 7 or 8.
I totally cannot relate to you guys on this fighter game shit, which I realize puts me in a totally different category from you guys.
We can have a whole episode of
Did they make a show about Soul Calibur?
No, but we can talk about Soul Calibur. There's got 8 games.
Here's my list. And I just realized something crazy. My top 3, I think, from what I can remember of video games into something. Oh fuck, I might need a 4th. But movie and TV wise, it's gonna be Arcane, The Witcher, and Castlevania. I think those are my top 3. And
even with Witcher season 2?
But okay, so if anything, oh fuck, and he's gonna step away exactly when I'm gonna talk about something that he knows about. The only thing that I might replace Witcher with is Halo, not the show.
I'm about to say this, we didn't talk about it for a reason.
Hey, yeah, I know. We started this whole podcast with the idea that we were going to be talking about Halo, and then we got into it. We were like, let's talk about anything but Halo.
It's so terrible.
That sounds horrible to talk about for any period of time. The books were so good. So maybe I shouldn't have opened it up this wide, because honestly, the Halo books were awesome. Top tier, super entertaining. they expanded on the lore, and then the future games were built off of some of those books. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think Halo Reach, which is a lot of people's like favorite Halo game, maybe aside from Halo 2. Halo Reach, I think, was based off of some of the stuff that they had written down in some books, like that came out after Halo 1 and 2. So those books were like chef's kiss, amazing, amazing, amazing. The Witcher, man, I think all of my points for The Witcher are just because of Henry Cavill being like the perfect. I've got like a
perfect
huge
chiseled man. You gotta
my man. I want Henry Cavill in everything. This is going to be a good segue into San Diego Comic-Con too.
We gotta prepare.
By the way,
that was my fault.
No,
Okay.
You're all good. I was saying that if I had to replace The Witcher with something else as my number 3, it would be the Halo books, and just being like the series of books.
Well, that changed my whole list.
I know, that's where I'm at. Maybe I shouldn't have opened it up that wide.
Nah, you can't. It has to
because
be
like.
It has to be like a live action or like a TV show.
All right. Well, then we'll throw away the books and the graphic novel things, because like Halo, the series may have been top tier garbage, but I was just telling Sam that I'm pretty sure that like some of those early Halo books that they wrote influenced the later games. Like Reach, they wrote a book on Reach long before the game came out. Yeah, but
the Reach game was a separate entity after the fact.
Right, but I'm saying that they definitely pulled stuff from those books.
You're talking to the guy. You're talking to the guy, okay? I'm telling you right now, you're talking to the guy.
Right.
They wrote the book, right? The original 3 books were written. Well, if I'm pretty sure, the first book and the second book were written before the game was made.
Yeah.
And the third book, or the in between, because it goes Fall of Reach, The Flood. Those happen before the game.
Right.
And then the third one is First Strike, and that happens after the game.
So I'm saying my point is, with these books being as fucking fire as they are, is that it was the opposite. It was that the game made a book, but then the book ended up influencing and making a game. But they based the game off of those books, right? Like when they made Reach, it was pulling shit from the books.
Pulling stuff from that, but it wasn't. It was and it wasn't, because in Reach, you're playing as Spartan 3s, not Spartan 2s, because the Master Chief John 117 is a Spartan 2. He's one of 100. He's 75 out of 150 that were made of these kids that were, they were either abducted from their homes or they were just missing kids, and they just had this genetic makeup that the UNSC, which is the world, I guess it's not even a world government. It's like a universal government.
The world government. We're talking about One Piece?
Yeah, basically. So it starts from like, the Earth is our beginning point, right, for this government. Right. And then it goes to from the inner colonies to the outer colonies to all these ridiculous galaxies that you can go to, right? And so this government agency took these kids, abducted them, but while abducting them, they also made clones of the kids, so that the kids, after they abducted them, the parents would think, oh, they just died of natural causes, they just died. No, these kids were just abducted and taken, classic CIA stuff,
Yeah.
And that's like the start of how he gets his makeup, because he's just a really genetically modified or genetically like good human being, I guess.
Right.
He's like a genetically great specimen, just like you, Osborne, Shaughnessy.
Specimen. So this is a long way. I did just shave today because I thought I had to go on camera for a meeting. It didn't happen. This is a long way to say that the Halo TV show was top tier basura, as Sam would say.
If you read the book,
top tier basura.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Ultimate basura.
Ultimate basura.
Get out of here.
Oh, we have a cameo. We have a cameo by Anna.
They're making the cameo.
Get out of my stream.
Cameo by Glenjamin's roommate. Oh my god, dude, you got to get the green screen. You need to get a green screen behind you. This is what you need. I
gotta get a real studio.
All right. I want to close it out on one last thing. Biggest letdown as far as a video game adaptation, and maybe we just answered that.
Listen,
but I want to start with you, Sam. What is your biggest video game to live action thing letdown?
I'll give you the 3 flops. Tekken 2.
Just one, but 3 is fine too.
Tekken 2 is, I couldn't even get through it. It's so terrible. Street Legend of Chun-Li is garbage, and then maybe the Warcraft movie, just because Paula Patton is in.
Ooh, you gotta love the Warcraft movie. Yeah,
the fact that Paula Patton is in like makeup around like a bunch of CG characters. This is dumb. It's so stupid.
Okay,
it's terrible.
God.
I think I agree with a lot of your list. I think the Warcraft movie is on there. I think the Legend of Chun-Li. I remember we did something. You remember how we watched? Were you at my house when we watched Fantastic Four? We watched Fan Four Stick. And we just came down and just shitted on it. Yeah. So we did something similar for Legend of Chun-Li. The Warcraft movie. I don't know that I have a third. I think I watched the first hour of Halo and I decided that this just obliterated my childhood, so I just backed out. So that's what I would say. What about you? What about you, Glenjamin?
The worst 3 or the worst one?
Just
Max
as many
Payne,
that disappointed you. Max Payne, worst disappointment of all time.
I love you so much, Sam, but like after watching that, last night, I literally fell asleep halfway through the movie because I was like, oh my god, the plot lines are terrible.
That's the story. It's the game.
It's so bad.
If you say the movie's terrible, that means you're saying the game is terrible.
So you can say the game story might be terrible, right? But the game mechanic can be good, right?
All right, fine.
I'm not playing Max Payne to like get a riveting Godfather level story. You're playing Max Payne because like you're on the fucking PS2 and you're 12 years old and you can like jump through the air shooting people in slow motion.
Or a window. You wouldn't be able to do that back then.
Yeah.
Crikey.
That was like revolutionary.
All right. Well,
just Max Payne, nothing else.
Oh, sorry. That was my only one.
That's the only one.
Second one definitely has to be the Super Mario movie because that's just you have to hate on it.
That's high on my fucking list too.
You have to hate on it.
You're a kid and you think that like, oh my god, they made a Super Mario movie, and you go into it. You're thinking like this is gonna change. You're thinking that this is gonna change my whole outlook on life. This is gonna be my new religion, and then you go to watch it, and it's. I don't know. I may need to change my list. It might need to go. It might need to include Super Mario.
I love that movie. I ain't putting it on no list. All right, one more, Glenjamin.
All right, last one. God, there's so many. It has to be the Angry Birds movie.
I forgot they made an Angry Birds movie. We left that off the list.
They made more than one. I'm pretty sure there's like 2 or 3 of them at this point.
My little cousins made me watch it, and it definitely has to be the worst.
I'm pretty sure there's more than one of them movies at this point.
But if Sam wants to talk about true to form, video game movies, it is very.
There's evil green pigs.
It does follow the movie. I mean the game. You're just throwing Angry Birds at everything.
I've never seen it. Never plan on seeing it.
I forgot it existed.
I think my one and only is gonna be the Super Mario movie. I don't know. That was the first time I think in my life that I knew what it was to be like disappointed on a grand scale. Where I was like, oh my god! Like grew up. My dad had gotten me the fucking Super Nintendo. We were playing Super Mario Bros. 2. It was like the best day of my life. And then I found out that they're making a movie about it, and it comes on Saturday morning, and I'm like, it was horrible. It was like I was awake to the world. I was like, this is what life is. Everything's going to disappoint me from here on out. This is just the beginning of the end. And that was the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
You guys are haters, man. John Leguizamo's fantastic.
But it's nothing compared to what we have announced: the new Super Mario Brothers movie featuring Chris Pratt as Mario, Keenan Peele as Toad, and many others.
That's
many,
animated,
many
though, right?
others.
It's not live action.
No, that's going to be a live action movie.
Oh,
Well,
let's see.
I'm pretty sure, Toad's gonna be animated, but
Yeah.
I mean, I would love
I
to
don't
see
know what they're
Keenan-
gonna do. It
Keenan
might
Peele.
end up being animated, but I think it's supposed to be live action. I think the way that they were advertising it was live action, but
Okay.
God,
We'll see.
don't trust anything right now. Some of the cast, Seth Rogen, I think was Donkey Kong. It was the craziest cast you've ever seen in your life. So that might end up getting the top spot.
As the worst. What if they make it a really good movie? Or is it gonna be?
Oh my God, it could be the best.
I think it could be the best. I mean, they did make Tropic, or at least he made Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even the blackface. I don't even care about it. It's
Robert Downey Jr. is the only one. He gets the only pass that's
got
ever
the
exists.
pass.
He gets the
that was
only
a great
pass.
use of blackface.
yeah.
And
Because the whole movie's making
Well, he
fun
was
of
playing a guy.
blackface.
He was playing
Yeah.
with three different
playing a guy, I
people.
was like, all right.
But yeah, no.
I'm not even mad at this. I know
Robert-
people that are mad at it. I'm like, I'm not mad at this.
He gets the only
No.
pass in history.
Hilarious.
In a time when white people were playing Persians, this
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
spot
Jake
on.
Gyllenhaal?
You should,
Come on.
yes, you should do this.
All right, let's take a quick break. And then we'll hit number 2 in the roundup.
Toasty.
Toasty. Glenjamin, you hanging out with us?
Hell yeah.
All right, dope. All right, give me a minute and 30 seconds, and we'll bring it back for round 2. Oh, I rolled over my sock. All right, well, you two talk about shit.
Hold on, Smooth Carlito. What do you mean? What do we sleep on?
Huh?
I'm looking at the chat. Twitch chat. Smooth Carlito was saying.
What are we sleeping on?
Yeah.
Sleeping on the Halo series? Oh, Assassin.
Oh, Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. I told you nothing that's animated, because those are like solidified to me. All the animated stuff is really good.
Well, they could tell a better story, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's why I say you should definitely watch those Mortal Kombat animated ones.
Mm-hmm.
They tell the story well. One of them is about Scorpion.
All right, I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah.
You say what is it called again?
I don't remember. I just know it's on.
It's on HBO.
Yeah. Oh wait, this isn't animated? Oh. My bad, Carlito. I've never seen this before.
Which one are you talking about?
This Assassin's Fist movie is not animated.
Is it an official movie though, or is it like a fan made movie?
Hold on. Now I gotta look this up.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. Oh, I see it right here.
It's a British web series.
Oh, it's Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. Sorry,
Yeah, Street Fighter
I was
Assassin's
looking.
Fist.
I was looking at Mortal Kombat. My bad.
Oh no, yeah. My bad.
Oh hell
Carlito.
yeah! Oh hell yeah! I could get down to that. That looks tight. Hell
Yeah,
yeah!
where? Let me find out where I can watch this. Then I might
Right.
watch this.
It says it's the best adaptation. Of, somebody said it's the best adaptation of Street Fighter. Oh, I have seen a little bit of this. Yeah, I have seen a little
Okay.
bit of this.
It
I
says
haven't
it's
seen the,
on-
I haven't seen the whole thing, but I have seen a little bit of this.
It says it's on Prime Video.
It looks as good as you can get, honestly.
That-
I will say.
We were talking about a video game adaptations crew, so we didn't talk about the Dragon Ball movie. But that movie's trash.
Yeah, we're not talking about Dragon Ball. That's an animated.
Yeah,
Not
that
talking
movie's
about that.
terrible.
I
There's
wish
so
we got
many,
a better
like-
actor.
If we started to talk about live action anime adaptations, the list is just complete garbage. Besides, like, what is it? Alice in Borderland.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like Alice in Borderland.
Mhm.
That's like it. I can't think of anything else. Like Death Note was trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even think of anything good. I tried to watch a Bleach one and I had to turn it off. I tried to watch Rurouni Kenshin. I thought that would be like
Hey.
the one that messed this up.
No.
And then they messed it up. Nothing redeeming.
What are we talking about?
Someone mentioned Dragon Ball movies, so we were talking about live action anime or manga adaptations.
Yeah.
None are good.
If we want to do a whole separate episode on anime adaptations, y'all better put on the hate bib. It's just gonna be a bib.
It's gonna be like a 3 or 4 episode kind of thing.
Yeah, there are a lot. I gotta watch a lot of shows.
I gotta
a lot of movies.
Smoke a lot of weed or do something before that, because I'm just gonna be miserable that whole time. Maybe not though. One Piece is coming soon. Maybe we'll do it after One Piece comes out.
Yeah.
Let's wait till the end of One Piece, and then we can do a anime live action. All right. Y'all ready?
Yeah, let me sit up straight and
Part two.
Get my newscaster voice together.
Bum 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 bum.
Dun, 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 dun.
Bum 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 bum.
Wait, this is the NFL theme.
Oh yeah, wait.
It's the NFL theme.
Hola, bienvenido a CAMEEOS. Aquí con nosotros, Shaughnessy y Samsahn.
You can't say it in Spanish.
I can't.
Samsahn.
I think it's Samsahn.
Samsahn. Well, with that introduction out of the way, this is CAMEEOS. I am Oseanacy. This is Samsahn. And Glenn, do you want to say your name in Hispaniola?
Glenn?
You don't have a stage name at this point? You've been on this podcast for like an hour and a half at this point.
Glenjamin?
Yeah.
I am Glenjamin.
You'd be Glenjamin until you come up with something better for yourself.
Yeah,
we are CAMEEOS +1 today. We are talking through the recent events of San Diego Comic-Con. For those of you who might not have had your internet turned on for the last 72 hours, that just wrapped up on Sunday. Although I think Saturday was the last day of big releases. This is the first San Diego Comic-Con, being the big, massive event of all things like what we talk about here: comic books, anime, all nerd stuff is discussed at these conventions. San Diego Comic-Con being sort of the mecca of those. It has been on hiatus for the most part since COVID started. I believe they may have had a San Diego Comic-Con last year, but it was not held in such high esteem. Mainly, Marvel was not there, and the MCU has not done a panel since 2019 before the pandemic. So, as you might imagine, a lot of big reveals, a lot of surprises. If you don't follow the Twitter feeds that spoil everything like I do, there might have been some surprises for you there. And if you don't follow any of that and you're just listening to us, we have some good news for you. There was a lot of cool stuff that they announced. What do you guys think? What were your impressions?
My favorite thing and the most emotional thing was the Black Panther Wakanda Forever
100%. Yeah.
We have to talk about that because that's the best thing to talk about. One, the whole procession scene that you saw where they're all wearing white. I'm gonna cry when I see that. Just so you guys know that. Very emotional because one, like knowing the fact that he didn't tell anybody and no one knew anything about it, and then having the whole impact of that, literally changed the whole story of the movie. You know,
what a way to close out the event with that trailer. Was that
absolutely?
It's a great trailer. Also, it looks really good.
It looks like a really good, well-made movie.
I should have prefaced this by saying we were going to talk about Black Panther last, but let's just dive right into it. Let's go in there, because that is obviously the 600, 900, 1,200 pound gorilla in the room. That shit was fire.
He's fantastic.
I've been reading a lot of things that have said, and I'm curious about your guys' opinion on this. There's a ton of emotional beats that Glenn, you just talked about, and a ton of little individual things that I think we should dissect about it. But overall, I think this might be the best Marvel trailer that there's ever been. And there might be some.
Yeah, that was a really good trailer.
There might be some recency bias in here. There might be some stuff because like Chadwick passed away, and there was like emotional stuff in here that other trailers just literally couldn't hit. So I want to watch this trailer again in like a month or two and just see where like it stands. But like when I watched it, dude, tears. I literally had tears with that speech that the Queen gave. That shit was amazing.
Where she was like, have I not
lost enough? Yeah. And then the whole fucking, it starts somber as shit. It starts with no woman, no cry, into Kendrick's gonna be all right. Like,
but you're missing the part between that where they depict each three of the women that he had an impact in. You know, you have Shuri, you have his mother, and
Nakia.
Sorry, four. That's four.
Yeah,
that's
and
four.
Nakia. Yeah, you can't forget Nakia.
Yeah, because Nakia's technically they had a kid. So what they're saying right now is that they have a kid before they got married or before the last movie that they had like a secret child. So.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
That's the talk. That's the talk around town right now.
And I read a spoiler about the plot. So I'm really excited for this, but I like how the way the trailer was done. You can't tell who is playing the Black Panther.
Yeah,
right.
You don't know who's in the suit. So I appreciate all that. I appreciate like the mural and all the ways they brought in this view. Like it looks like it's going to be good. Like it's going to meet the hype.
Yeah,
man. There's
in this world where we haven't liked many of the Marvel releases.
That's what I was just about to say. Is like,
was like okay, like it's cool.
Okay, exactly. Off of the heels of some controversial movies, Doctor Strange, Thor, some of these later MCU projects, Miss Marvel, you know, stuff isn't really landing for everybody right now. But I don't think if you saw any Marvel movie up to this point, any of them, like my mom, very casual watcher, she's like, oh, Thor Ragnarok, that's fun. But if you showed her this trailer, there's no way that doesn't like hit and be like, damn, that movie looks fucking good. So reignited the entire hype train for me. Like what a smart
the end of
way.
Phase 4 also. So that whole reveal.
All right.
Like, also,
I have so many more things to talk about the trailer, though. We can't. Let's not talk about the phases yet, because that's a whole nother component of this.
That's true.
Let's talk about the trailer. Namor.
Yeah.
The first mutant, or is he
superhero from?
Who else is going to be the Apocalypse?
No, he means no. Technically, because Kamala Khan was introduced as a mutant.
No, I'm giving him.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving him stuff.
Kamala Khan, first mutant.
Marvel's first hero is Namor. He's in the movie. I love what they did with his story. I love how I love the first look. Like this is like it's getting me excited for everything else. I'm excited for the movie. I'm excited for everything that's to come after this. It looks really good. The not Atlanteans. I forgot what they're calling them now, because they're like they use like a old I think a Mexican society.
Aztecs?
They're like the Mayans, I think they're more towards the Mayans, because the Mayans were more like serpentine, like god-esque. So like the headdress that you see Namor have when he like comes down from like the orb in the water
into the megalodon thing that's like around his throne.
You see that it's not necessarily like any shape like a feline or anything like that. It's more like a serpentine like headdress, if that makes sense.
And they said the civilization they used to. I can't remember what it was.
Well, I couldn't remember.
So like his comic book origin, Namor is half. It seems like he's half.
Yeah, he's a half a human, half like
in the
Atlantean.
trailer. These guys from Atlantis or whatever they end up calling it are blue. and they keep that. It seems like they keep that in the movie, whereas we see Namor as a kid, as an adult, and he is very much not blue. He is he looks half human. He looks half
and half. Yeah, well, half mutant because I really hope he's a mutant.
Well, that's really what he is, right?
It'd be weird if they omitted that at this point, because like they just said that Miss Marvel's a mutant. Why would they?
Up to the point.
What are they going to make him?
To that point.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense though, right? Because if you're a society that's in water for the greater part of a century or more or millennia, you're sitting in there like you've got to have like winged feet at certain.
I might be reading too much into this, but to back up your thing, Sam, like as far as him being half, if you notice that birthing scene where you see the baby being born in the water, which I presume to be Namor. It happens in very very shallow water. So like you would think if this is just a bunch of underwater people fucking and having babies, they'll be doing that. They'll be doing that out in the middle of the water, like out in the middle of the ocean. Whereas this scene was very much in like half water. And I might just be reading too much into it, but yeah, it was like this baby was born clearly close to the shore.
Like I assume what they would probably do is his mother is the human.
You're right. And then the father was like Poseidon or something, right? Like the Marvel Poseidon.
Yeah.
That would explain why it has to be close to shore.
And that's why he's royalty in this.
Right. So he's he'd be like the bastard child, right?
So like,
and then the conflict with Wakanda.
Or like the god, or like the god child, like ancient Greek child, right? Like the god goes and makes a baby with a woman, and then there comes Hercules.
Thor alert!
Right,
Spoiler.
Exactly, Thor alert.
Still a god amongst men because he hopefully is still a mutant in this.
Right. But he's still.
But keeping with the comic book origins, Atlantis or Aztec or whatever they end up changing it to, we'll just call it. We'll call it MCU Lantis for the rest of this.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be MCU Mex.
MCU Mex, MCU Underwater
Mexicans,
World.
I can say that.
MCU SeaWorld. They have beefed with Wakanda throughout the entire comic book run. To the point where during the Infinity Saga, Namor actually told. And oh my god, it'd be so dope if they made this come up in the movie. Thanos came down to Earth and Namor was like, yeah, there's an Infinity Gem in Wakanda. And he just said that to fuck with Wakanda.
Not even like
how cool would that be if we got like a flashback where Thanos or one of his children of Thanos like flashed down and Namor's like, they got him over there.
Yeah, but you also have to realize like that. I don't think that would really work because Atlantis is kind of hidden.
What Wakanda's hidden?
No,
Wakanda's hidden. Atlantis is hidden. They're both hidden.
Well, Wakanda and Atlantis are hidden, right? Because one is underwater.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Thanos' people had no problem finding Wakanda.
But you're gonna go after the people who are under the surface rather than the people that are on the surface who really generally.
No, I'm just saying like maybe here's crazy tinfoil hat time. Namor knows that this shit is going on because the stuff happens in New York, and he sends up some beacon with some satellite thing, calls him down, and he's like, "They're over there."
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sean.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
I have a hard like grasp of that when they're underwater, where you need electricity to.
All right, that is. I know you don't mean it this way, but that is actually a good point because in the comics, they have like an advanced society, whereas in this trailer, it seems like they're very much like coming from Avatar, like James Cameron's Avatar thing. They're all wearing loincloths and shit.
I would assume they still have in the same way that Wakanda is still advanced, but the garb is traditional. I assume the MCU Atlantis is the same way. Mm-hmm. Where they're just as advanced,
maybe,
but they're just
not They're just not as like,
maybe.
Well, what I've also like read up was that they're gonna do like a juxtaposition of Wakanda has got like the height of like technology and you know, the Atlantis has like the upcoming of technology where they haven't hit that point yet, but they're about there, and they're just a little bit different
MCU
than
Atlantis has not gone through the Industrial Revolution yet.
No. Wakanda's revolution.
Yeah, well,
Right.
they are advanced, but they're just not as advanced as Wakanda. Where they're like an all-powering like entity without being like known, you know.
Yeah.
I just
no
think
one's as advanced as Wakanda anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So it makes sense.
That's necessarily almost like the Kree and like the Nova Corps, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sorry, on Earth, no one on Earth is as advanced as Wakanda.
Right. Because the closest that anybody got was what, Iron Man.
I don't.
I mean, there was like Roxxon and stuff too. Like Roxxon ended up being like a whole big powerhouse. Well,
that was after. That was a different
closest.
timeline. That was a different timeline though, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Because you were talking about the Loki one. That's a different timeline.
No, Roxxon in the comics is like a corporation
but if you're talking about like the MC universe, Roxxon came after everything after, you know.
I was not talking about the MC universe. I was talking about comic books.
Sorry.
No, I would say AIM is as close as you get to.
Yeah, AIM is around. AIM is around.
Technology.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Guy Pearce over there fucking imploding somewhere on a ship. All right. Well,
and we can't forget Riri Williams.
I was about to say, like, we can't talk about Ironheart. We can't not talk about Ironheart.
She's in Wakanda. Williams.
So excited. I'm so excited.
For those who don't know, that's Ironheart. She was only one able in the comics. She was only one able to like replicate Tony Stark's technology. So she becomes like Ironheart, Iron Man. Yeah, she's substitute.
We see her hammer out in a very similar scene to Iron Man 1, where Tony is hammering out the pieces of steel plating. We get an exact, almost like shot for shot little clip of her hammering out, but then it's a heart
with the clink.
I like that. That was a good scene. Oh, also that made me think too. You remember how at the end of Black Panther, Wakanda starts sharing their technology with like the black community around the world. So I would assume like
that's how it started.
That's how she got discovered. They found her and saw her genius, and like, oh, we're going to actually do what Killmonger was thinking, but not in the crazy way.
Yeah,
that's good. That's a good use of Riri.
I really hope that they bring him back.
I don't want to like. I don't know. They might.
Don't spoil any plot leak stuff.
Yeah, because like
I know that there's stuff online right now that like spoils stuff, like story spoilers. But Killmonger was in What If. He was basically like the alternate reality version of Black Panther, where like he and Tony Stark teamed up for a little bit in What If. And then he ends up assuming the mantle of Black Panther, and then he ultimately ends up becoming evil again. You know, like no spoilers there, because like obviously he was always going to end up being evil because he's Killmonger. Would be really dope if this ended up tying in to the multiversal stuff, and then we got to see him. I don't think that's likely.
I don't think that'll happen.
But in the comics, they do have like acolytes or like followers of Killmonger that bring him back. So I'm really hoping, not necessarily they bring him back in real life. I don't want to have to see him come back, nor do I want to see like a, you know, alternate dimension portal scoop him in and then put him into the fight. You know, I don't want to see that. But what I want to see is more like a coming of age story of like Shuri realizing like her depression, or I guess like all the emotions she's dealing with, and then he ends up being the person to help her, because obviously we can't get Chadwick Boseman back.
Right.
We can't have
Disney
him back.
very clearly said that they're not gonna.
No one's gonna want him as like
they're not gonna recast. They're not gonna recast T'Challa. They're not gonna 3D like Luke Skywalker him in. That's off the table, according to Disney, as of like 2 years ago. So
yeah. But what I want is more, because I guess like the first movie was more like colonization and stuff like that, and like them becoming like a nation that was not afraid about like being open to the whole to the global world, right? But what I want, I don't know, it just because it's just a sad story to tell, right? Because you don't know what they're going to tell, right? one, they have to talk about him passing or him
Right.
not being in the universe anymore. Two, they have to talk about who's going to follow up that mantle. And then
Right.
three, they
Definitely.
got to give you a story. They got to
Yeah.
give you a story about it. All of three. Of
It
them,
can't
right?
just be. It can't be a movie
Yeah.
that's literally just
Yeah.
filler for those two things.
Or,
Yeah.
or like a
With
movie
true
about
conflict.
why he's dying, right? Like why did he die? Like
Right.
the movie
Yeah,
can't just
they
all be
they
about
can't do
him
any of that.
dying. So it's really hard, and I just really hope that it's more of like a coming of age story, almost like Spider-Man, not Homecoming, but like in between Homecoming and Far From Home, right? Because he's got to.
Far From Home is between Homecoming and No Way Home.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Homecoming and Far From Home.
What were you-
go ahead.
What were you about to say, Sam? I was going to ask you.
I was going to say, speaking of Spider-Man, and then segue into the Spider-Man freshman year show that they have, because they announced that along with What If Season 2. Both of those will be animated, which we didn't know. And then they have Charlie Cox voicing Daredevil in Spider-Man freshman year.
Yep.
And they showed all of his costumes. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good, but it won't be what's his name, Zendaya's boyfriend. He's not voicing Spider-Man in
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Thank
You
I
know
don't why I couldn't
Zendaya's
remember
name,
his
but you can't remember Tom Holland.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's Zendaya, baby.
It is
She's got one
Zendaya.
name. She's got one name.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one name. Tom Holland has got to be the most boring name of all time. Yeah.
Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy.
Yeah, Tommy Boy.
All right. Well, wait. Just to close it out on Black Panther, because no.
I love
And
Black Panther though.
I do want to segue it.
Looks amazing.
Glenn, you brought up like the perfect segue in that they can't do just like Black Panther's not Black Panther anymore. Here's the new Black Panther. Fill an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it may be. They can't do that. That's not gonna work. That's kind of what they've done up to this point to a degree in some things. Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Big example of that. Like, who the fuck is Kate Bishop? Well, here's 8 episodes about who Kate Bishop is.
Yeah.
This movie is going to do something interesting, and I think what we learned about for the whole first part of this, and this goes back to what you had said, Sam, Black Panther ends phase 4. This is the end of the phase 4 movies, which I don't know about you guys, but that shit surprised me. I thought Quantumania was going to end our run here of the first phase. We got a year and a half of stuff, and I know it feels like it's been longer because we've gotten 36 fucking shit. Like, it's been so much stuff, but I didn't expect to end on Wakanda Forever. I'm not mad about it. I was just definitely surprised by it. But what Kevin Feige has said in a post interview was that this movie was very much to bridge the gap. And now that I think back on every single thing that we've seen through the end of Endgame until now, presumably She-Hulk will be Mark Ruffalo introducing Jessica, whatever her fucking name is, She-Hulk. This series is very much, or this phase is very much about out with the old, in with the new, and how do we do that in like a way that does more than just that. You know what I mean? Like WandaVision introduced Photon. What's her name? Rambo. I can't remember her superhero name, but Monica Rambeau.
Photon.
Is it Photon?
It is Photon.
So we get Photon, we get White Vision, we get new version of Wanda.
White Vision, yeah.
White Vision, worst Vision.
We open up the multiverse phase.
We open up the multiverse, which is going to be the overarching saga. So we'll talk about this in a second. But like this whole series of stuff is now patent pending. Patent not pending. They patented it. The multiverse saga. We get Hawkeye leading into Kate Bishop. We get all of the immediate ramifications of the stuff that happened with Loki stealing the Infinity Cube. It doesn't necessarily introduce a new character, except at the very end we get Kang the Conqueror. So we introduce a major like series villain right there.
And wait, this is where I want to say I told you so. I told you that Kang would be the main villain for this phase. I said it. Y'all didn't believe me. You're like, no, it's going to be Doom. No, it's not. It's Kang the Conqueror. I was right.
I don't think it's going to be him.
I listened to the podcast. I believe you.
He's going to be
the entire Avengers, the Kang Dynasty movie.
Yes.
He's the main villain.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that he's the new Thanos. It just means that
no, but you have to realize that he's a recurring like theme in like the Avengers movies. Like
Doom,
it's not just one movie.
Doctor Doom is going to be the main antagonist of the whole spiel. Battle World.
I'm trying to tell you right now.
In phase
Kang is like Battle World. Kang is also about Battle World, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he starts it. Doom finishes it.
Right. So that's why after.
Where's Doom? Where's Doom?
Doom is after all that.
Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four.
So we haven't even hit that yet. So what are we talking about?
I thought Fantastic Four was announced within the next 2 phases.
Yeah,
that's phase 6.
I'm talking about where is Doctor Doom in the universe right now? Where is he?
Latvia.
We saw like an apple crate in the multiverse of madness, and that was it.
No, he was also on in Moon Knight. He was on cupcakes. They were delivering cupcakes to Doctor Doom.
I was telling our friend Arion earlier. I really feel like it's Kang. Like Kang is Thanos right now. Doom is like the next Thanos. Yeah, we gotta extend this, right? So after phase 6 ends, Doom comes in.
Doom
comes in.
Jetpacks.
Doom is the end all be all. Doom
after
is the end
Secret
all be all.
Wars, that's when Doom comes in.
No, not after Secret Wars. He is Secret Wars.
No, he's not. The Secret Wars is like the Battle World. That's them fighting in general.
Doom can
Battle
be
World is Doom's creation.
You don't realize that.
No,
you don't realize that.
Battle World is the Beyonder's creation.
Oh my god.
Beyonder. It's a story where the Beyonder makes Battle World. Doom steals the Beyonder's powers at some point. Also, Doom does a lot of random things.
Yeah, Doom does a lot. He steals a lot of people's powers. He steals like the one be alls. He steals like what the Living Tribunal. Like it's insane. Like I think at one point he does something else, and let's look it up. Let's just look up all the things that Doctor Doom does.
Doom does a lot of stuff
because he does an insane amount of things.
All right, here's what it's gonna be. All right, here's my theory. So yes, the Beyonders create Battle World. They're not going to do all that. That's too much. That's way too much.
No, it's not. They've already introduced the cosmic beings.
So what's going to happen is Doctor Doom is going to come in Fantastic Four. We're going to know about Love. Spoiler alert for Thor. He's going to take her powers and make this shit. And that's how Secret Wars is going to be. Doctor Doom is going to use Love to make Battle World. And that's going to be the end of the movie.
Here's my like
bet
theory.
Money.
Doom will just appear in Wakanda forever for some reason, and then Fantastic Four has nothing to do with actual Doom. It's probably more about the Fantastic Four dealing with the incursion, because you need an incursion before you can even get to Secret Wars.
Well, that happens in there somewhere, yeah.
Right, so that's what Fantastic Four is that's what I'm thinking Fantastic Four will be about. And then later you find out the whole person like that was orchestrating all this. When you get to after Kang Dynasty, you get to Secret Wars. Doom was like behind the scenes because his whole intent was to get to this world and then steal the Beyonders' abilities. And then we get into phase 7 where Doom is like the main antagonist for the entire MCU for another 3 phases.
Yeah.
That's my
You think
theory.
Jonathan Majors is the main antagonist of this?
Yes. Kang is a big deal. You're acting like Kang is like some V-list villain.
It's we're talking about phase 5, right? We're not talking about because it goes
phase 6 is where it ends,
right?
5 to 6, yeah.
5 to 6.
6 is going to be the end of the multiverse saga.
Yes.
Or what? They flip it on its axis and what? You have Doctor Doom first and then Kang?
No,
Kang has already been introduced. Kang's already here.
But he can't come back because there are multiple versions of him.
That's my point.
He can come back. But that's what I'm saying. Kang is like a serious villain. He doesn't have to lead into Doom.
Right.
Doom is like the next villain. That's the major villain.
I think they're gonna pull the rug from us. Kang
can run the whole phases.
Doesn't
the first one is Kang's Dynasty, right? It's not the last one.
The first Avengers movie is Kang Dynasty. The second one is Secret Wars.
Doesn't Secret Wars, the comic, take place on Battleworld?
No, because that starts the incursions, though, right? It's like more likely, right?
That ends the incursions, I guess. The incursions start,
right, but
they stop it another way first.
Because we're already having incursions.
That's where we're starting, though, right? Because that's what we're starting or to leading up to. So maybe we're just doing like it might be like the multiverse like saga, but it might be like the subsect of it being called like the what is it called again? Sorry, the
multiverse saga.
The incursion like build up. It might become a different thing, right?
We were promised Jetpack said it in the chat. The incursions lead into Secret Wars, right? So I would assume that if you have Kang Dynasty first, and maybe Sean, you might have said it. I don't remember. Actually, it might have been Arion. I don't know if Arion is also We Were Promised Jetpacks. I'm sorry, but like what happens is like
Arion, change your name.
What they could do is that the Kang Dynasty movie is about him doing incursions because his whole point is to try to make one timeline to do the same thing that so this is what he said. So to do the same thing that the one above all in Loki did, right? Which is just Kang in another form.
Yeah.
So he's trying to do the same thing, and he uses the Kang Dynasty Avengers movie to do that. That's all the incursions. And then because of that, we get into the Secret Wars movie, where now it's a battle world scenario where everyone has to fight this war. And because of that, Doom is also here, but Doom is not stupid and has always been aware of everything that's going on, and then uses that opportunity to do what Doom does. But he doesn't start this. He is just a part of it.
I'm not saying he starts it. I'm saying we get introduced to Doom in Fantastic Four. All this crazy multiversal shit with all the incursions and all this like nonstop like multiverses are all over the fucking place because Loki and Lady Loki fucked the shit up. Miss Minutes got stabbed through the heart. That's done.
They didn't fuck it. They fixed it.
They started the whole multiversal shenanigans.
I don't think they fixed it.
They started it by killing He Who Remains. By killing He Who Remains, all this stuff was able to happen. Right?
Yeah, because they freed the timelines and put everything how it should be.
So that's the beginning.
Doom is supposed to be in Black Panther.
Then we get Fantastic Four, where we get introduced to Doom. He's on some other shit. Maybe he's not even the antagonist in that. Maybe we just get introduced to him. Then other stuff happens. Multiversal shit is still going out of whack, but Kang is still constant throughout. We know Kang is going to be in Quantumania. He's going to make other appearances in the next phase for sure. Kang Dynasty. They stop his shit. Kang gets defeated in Kang Dynasty, or at least like made irrelevant. We get a couple more movies, and then at the tail end, the last movie of the last phase of this saga, of the multiverse saga, Doom comes back, takes advantage of all of the chaos that Kang sowed. Battle World. You got Miles Morales coming in as Peter Parker. You got the X-Men over here. What? Who is that? Hugh Jackman? I don't know. Deadpool? Who's he? Like all this crazy shit. That's Secret Wars. That is Doctor Doom taking advantage of all of the crazy shit that has happened up to this point. Don't at me, bro.
I love you so much, but I don't see Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds coming in just to do that.
I think
he's gonna have a movie.
Ryan Reynolds is definitely gonna have a movie. Yeah, there's gonna be a movie in there. But how fucking awesome would it be if they like can it, and that's the first time that we see him in there?
Really?
But Sean, I disagree. I think that the Kang Dynasty is like Infinity War, and then Secret Wars is like Endgame. So Kang Dynasty just sets up
they're
the whole no. My point is like the Secret Wars movie is like the sequel to Kang Dynasty is what I'm saying. So that's my thought is that
call it Secret Wars. There could be a movie before called Secret Wars, but I think that they are going to allude to a bigger story after the fact.
Yes.
My,
I think,
because
I think that Doom will just be around. Like he's not going to have any part, any true major part. I think that King Dynasty is like literally King the Conqueror is like, you know what, I'm going to conquer all of these timelines at the same time. So you know how in Loki they mentioned that there was a war between all the Nathaniel Richards.
Yes,
that's probably what King Dynasty is, and he like, all right, we're going to do this again, and then you get into Secret Wars, which is Battle World, and then at the end of that, that's when Doctor Doom actually truly comes in to like be Doom. I think any other time, because he's supposed to be introduced in Black Panther, and I think he's just cameos throughout the MCU. Even in Fantastic Four, he's not. He's just in there, like, hey, I live here in Latvia.
Hey,
like,
it's me. It's me.
We can like take bets. We can see in 2 years we can pull this episode up, and I can be like, Sean, you were right. And me and Glenn can be like, hey, you were wrong, Sean.
I disagree with you for one main reason. I don't think that they're going to announce a split movie this far off. They didn't know when they announced that Infinity War was going to be a movie. That was one movie at the end of that saga. I don't think they know like that far out whether things are going to be one project or not. And there's a huge slate of stuff that we're going to find out about in September at D23. So I think all of this is kind of moot until we see what they say at D23, because I think between Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars, there's like 8 fucking projects that we still don't know about. And I think what those are very much will weigh on whether I agree with you or not. In between Infinity War and Endgame, we had 2 things. We had Captain Marvel and that shitty Ant-Man movie.
That Ant-Man movie is good. Don't do that.
I
love it.
The invisible wasp thing.
Yes, I love it. A Yellow Jacket's in there. Don't do that to our boy Larry Fishburne.
Larry Fishburne. There is a small period of time between these Avengers movies, but it's not enough to have them be like, this is part 1 and this is part 2, because it's like, what the fuck are all those characters going to be doing during that like 8 sequence thing? Like, that's way too long to have between like a movie that ends on a snap and then a movie that picks up where the other one left off. That's my main thing. I feel like Kang Dynasty, because it comes out in like spring of 2025, and then the next movie comes out like all the way
2024.
There's a sizable gap between the 2 movies. That's my point.
I gotta check the calendar.
There's like 8. There's like 8.
I thought it was in the next 2 years, not the next 3 years.
Oh no, the movies are the 2 Avengers movies are within a relatively short period of time of each other.
No, yeah, they're 2025.
They're both in 2025.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four is the end of 2024.
Yeah. So it's in the next 2 years. They're not super far away.
So, but there's going to be a ton of content in between those 2.
No.
So I don't see. I don't see.
Will just prove me right. And then
I don't see them leaving like a Kang Dynasty on a big cliffhanger and then doing a whole. I don't know. People are too impatient these days. I don't see people waiting a whole year to figure out how Thanos unsnaps everybody and stuff. You know what I mean?
It doesn't have to be one. It's not a whole year. They're both in 2025. And then it's like it's not a it's May and then November, right? And it doesn't have to be a whole cliffhanger. All it has to be is like the incursion begins, and then everything in between is like what characters are doing during these incursions. And then you get, boom, we're in Secret Wars. Plus, I know there's like a Captain America movie in there. We got
all right. I like this. I like this idea. $20 bets all around.
That's fine.
I think Kang Dynasty is going to be a standalone Avengers movie. Well, standalone meaning like Kang is not going to be the big bad in Secret Wars.
So the main bet is like whether Kang is still the big bad or if Doctor Doom takes over.
Okay. my theory about Doctor Doom, I hold very dear to my heart, but I could be changed in my head. I don't think Kang is a big bad.
All right, that's the $20 bet, and my bet is that Doctor Doom is the Phase 7 through 10 villain, main antagonist. So Kang ends Phase 6.
Glenn, you got to pick a side.
I'm not gonna pick a side. I'm not picking a side. You know what? I love you so much, man.
That's fine. Well,
I'm gonna pick my own side. I'm gonna say this right now.
Max
Kang
Payne was the greatest movie of all time.
No, Kang Dynasty is gonna be a Kang Dynasty. It's gonna be a Kang movie, right? But who's to say Doctor Doom isn't the smartest motherfucker on the world or in the universe, right? So
Nobody, because he is.
Right.
CAMEEOS Civil War. That's hilarious.
So why can't he be the one telling Kang what to do? And then he comes in, and then I'm gonna follow.
He's
up
playing
on you,
Kang,
Sam, and he's playing Kang because he's
Doctor Doom is playing Kang.
I love everybody so much, but Doctor Doom is one of the smartest villains, and next to like the Helmut Zuma, right? He's like the next to the top two, right?
I think Amadeus Cho is maybe
Helmut,
smarter.
No.
And
Cho is like 7 or 8.
Oh, I thought Amadeus Cho was like top tier.
No. He is, but there's like 7 of them, right? It's Reed, it's Doom, T'Challa, it's Beast, Hank
with Doctor Strange and
no, not Doctor Strange. They're talking about like pure
intelligence.
Pure intelligence.
Yeah.
Well, Tony Stark is there, right?
Nah, Tony Stark is not top 8. Who else? Hank Pym.
Yeah, because Riri is smarter than
and then
Amadeus
Cho. So that was like the 7. And then there's another person whose name I forgot. And this is all just intelligence without any mutations or augments. So those are like the leaders in the field.
$20.
Doctor Doom is not the main villain.
Doctor Doom
that's what I'm saying. No,
is the main villain.
Is not. I call it right now. Doctor Doom is not the main villain for Kang Dynasty or the one after. I'll tell you right now. He's not the one.
Glenjamin agrees with me.
He's not the one.
And then the whole idea that Doom is like
recorded chat.
Because how are you gonna introduce him to Fantastic Four and then everything else afterward?
No, like you introduce him there, and that's how you know that he's diabolical.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be in Wakanda Forever.
He's supposed to be in everything. He's supposed to be in everything before.
He's in Wakanda Forever?
No. Because he's a genius.
You just spoiled some shit.
He's a genius. So he has to be before this, right? So he has to be in Moon Knight and before everything else, right?
He was already in
he's
Moon
back
Knight.
there.
We saw the boxes.
No. We saw the boxes. Right? But we also saw the boxes in the Multiverse of Madness, right? The Volker's boxes, right?
Exactly.
That comes from Latveria. So what I'm saying is that he has to be.
He's everywhere.
He's got to be ingrained in everything before.
So how is he not the main bad guy?
Because he's not going to do anything until
he's not going to do anything until he knows he can. Because that's Doctor
After
Doom.
Kang Dynasty, when the Young Avengers, Avengers and the Thunderbolts team up,
that's the only time he can become the best villain he can be is the Young Avengers. No one else can top him. That's when.
Yeah, it's because Kate Bishop comes in and she flies in with her arrow and then shoots Kang in the head. All right, we're going
like way off the road. There was a Secret Invasion announcement, a bunch of shows. Blade was announced.
They moved a lot of stuff around.
You can't tell me that guy from Homecoming, the home defense or whatever, the Tony Stark like Department of Defense that he like started. That one guy with that giant beautiful beard that he had, and he was also in the last movie. What was the last movie?
What are you? I have no idea what you're talking about. Who has a
guy
beard?
From No Way Home.
Okay.
He's like the Department of Damage Control. He's like the guy. He's the guy with your beard, Sean.
I don't have a beard.
In Miss Marvel, right?
No, he's in that same one. No, he's the same guy. Because he's
I don't remember.
Stewie?
No.
That's who he plays in Succession. The guy that's in Miss Marvel, the Department of Damage Control guy.
Yeah, the guy.
Okay, yeah, he plays Stewie in Succession. Okay.
Yeah, then that's the guy. Yeah.
All right. What about him?
He's gonna be a scroll. I think he's gonna be a scroll.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah, we'll see what's going on with Secret Invasion.
I think he's gonna be a scroll.
That's gonna be soon.
All those announcements. Ironheart was announced. Guardians 3. We got more from Adam Warlock.
Yeah, this is what I thought was interesting. Is
they moved?
Yeah,
I don't know that there's a ton to talk about.
CG looks better. So
the CG looks better.
Yeah.
Did you not watch like the old Hulk TV show?
Yeah,
No.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great, terrible TV show. We're talking
With
about Max
Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah. It's about the Bionic Man. Also, like if you're talking about that same timeline.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Batman,
unfortunately, I have watched some of those old. I watched I watched part of the original Avengers movie that came out in the 70s.
The original, yeah. That's the other one that I was gonna say. The Avengers, yeah, it's another one.
I hope that when the Guardians Christmas special comes out, they do some callbacks to those like old terrible things that used to come out. Like I want to see some homage to like the best of the best and the worst of the worst, because the Star Trek Christmas special was a unique thing. If you've never seen it, take some acid and go watch that, because
isn't that what like the callback for the Guardians of the Galaxy like Christmas special is going to be about?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be
a
mix of like Star Wars and Star Trek.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
which I'm excited for. That sounds like a good time.
San Diego Comic-Con though, specific to that, anything else? Any other news updates you guys had insights on?
That's everything that came out. The Fantastic Four release date, all the show things. I'm trying to think of anything that
Daredevil getting 18 episodes, which is lovely to see. We also can't forget about the DC universe, cinematic Can we
universe.
Not? We could forget. We could forget if we tried.
A new Black Adam trailer. We got the Shazam 2 trailer. We gotta watch those. We gotta see what
Henry Cavill not coming back despite some prominent rumors.
He's coming back. He just didn't show up at the event. Yeah. And I think like The Rock was talking about like how he's pivotal in the.
I hope so. I really want to see him. I really want to see him.
What I thought was interesting was in the Shazam trailer. The Shazam trailer. What's his name? When he was doing the narration, Shazam was like, "Oh, you have Batman, you have the Flash," and they were like, and Superman. They were showing like images of those guys, which I just thought was kind of like interesting. I was like, "Oh, yeah." Well,
to me, that's good. That means this is one universe.
Ben Affleck and fucking Henry Cavill are gone, man. Like,
no, Henry Cavill's coming back.
Stop! I don't want to see it.
Has to happen.
I don't want to see it.
You'll still get your flashpoints.
I don't want to see that.
Henry
you
Cavill.
don't want to see Henry Cavill as Superman anymore?
No, I'm saying I don't want to see Flashpoint.
Oh, I want Flashpoint so they can finally retcon their whole universe and make everything one timeline.
Please, because I don't want to see the other guy. Ezra Miller is just literally killed.
Ezra.
Ezra.
He's done. They already spent $300 million. They got to put the movie out. And then we need Morbius to be released in theaters one more time, so Sony can recoup some more
Complete money. The trifecta.
Put everything out.
It's Morbin time, baby.
And no Smooth Carlito. No one likes Batfleck. Batfleck is not good.
I didn't mind Batfleck.
I don't like it.
You talking about Bat versus Superman?
No, Ben Affleck.
Movies, Ben Affleck, Batman, but Batman versus Superman is terrible. So
do you remember that? Do you remember that one girl that we used to know that her boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend used to really like that movie? Sean, do you remember that?
No.
Were you there for that conversation? No. There used to be a girl that we used to know at work, who her ex-boyfriend used to adamantly say, Batman vs Superman was the best movie that he had ever watched in his entire life. We were all like,
he was wrong.
We were all like, yep, nope, go eat shit.
I do remember that. It was such an awkward party because I disagreed with him.
You know who I'm talking about.
I do. You're not name dropping because I know you and I both know that person's name.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I was at the party and I was like, "What are you talking about? That's a bad movie." And they were like, "This is why it's better than Marvel movies." And I was like, "All right, I'm out." And
if Chad, if you want to go watch Batman vs Superman, feel free. But I'll tell you right now,
you're gonna throw up.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it wasn't.
On HBO Max.
I mean, look,
it had great fight scenes. I will say what.
Yeah,
DC
it was.
Universe movies have great fight scenes.
It was cool.
Great fight scene.
They do not hold up for the rest of the movie.
No, absolutely not. No.
But yeah, hopefully Flashpoint will come and like retcon all of that, and then it's just a straight new timeline of like Shazam's, your Black Adam, Aquaman 2. But they didn't talk much about any of that. From what I remember from DC, it was only...
They did not.
Yeah, Shazam and Black Adam announcements. So, we'll see. I think that's everything. Oh, and then the stuff that we don't care about, for real. Lord of the Rings.
There was a Dungeons and Dragons trailer that may or may not be the worst movie that's ever come out.
I mean, I'm down to watch. That sounds like a great...
We're going to watch it, but we're going to watch it, like... Not in theaters. I think we're gonna watch it at a friend's house.
We should do a watch party. CAMEEOS watch party.
Yeah.
We'll put on Dungeons and Dragons and turn on the stream. Exactly. You guys can watch along with us.
Yeah, we're a live reaction of
that would be fun. That would be fun. All right. Well, Glenjamin, thank you so much for joining us, man. This was so dope.
Fantastic.
We'll do this again for sure.
Thanks for yelling about why Kang will be.
Yeah, you can come back anytime and take Sam's side for sure. He'll welcome you back. Anytime. It's been real, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. Seriously, it's been a blast. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.